it's maybe been like 2 years, probably even longer. But I thought, let me do a little live and share a little bit about a conversation I had this weekend with my husband. So some of you may know, some of you may not, that I am running a 3-month group program called Goal Getting Society, which starts in March, and it is £4. Four Great British pounds. Translate that to whatever currency you want. But ultimately, I'm calling it the Oat Flat White Edition. And I was just talking to him about how excited I am to start this off. So excited to see people come into the program, but also so excited to do something that breaks all of the rules of the industry that I'm in, right? Typically, especially those of you who have been here for a while, know that I don't offer anything for £4. And my fellow coaches will also kind of know the value that's going into this program is basically just it doesn't make any sense for me to do this. And I started to have this conversation with my husband because I was just like, I'm just excited about it because I want to bring hope to people. Like, as much as we can talk about all of the trends in career, and I will dive into them, right? AI applicant tracking systems, discrimination being brought to light with several cases, things like that. But more than anything, any strategy that you work with someone on doesn't work if you don't have hope. You can work with any coach on anything in your life. And if you do not have hope, or a confidence or a belief, right? Or a growth mindset, right? And again, growth mindset definition, belief that through effort, your impact, like the outcome will change. I'm not trying to woo woo you or coach talk you. It won't work. You will not wake up to do it. You will not put one foot in front of the other. You will not show up in someone's inbox. You will not even hit easy apply on LinkedIn if you don't have that hope. And there's something that I see, there's a big shift that I'm personally very passionate about, which is the reality that the world of work doesn't get better if those of us that are in it give up completely. The world genuinely can't hold everyone becoming an entrepreneur, and nor do I believe that everyone should be one. I say this as somebody who's a coach who has their own career. I work a day job. I am employed and also self-employed. So I say it as somebody who has seen the moments where you want to give up, you want to throw in the towel, you want to hand in your notice based off principle, of integrity, of a lack of inclusion, all of the things that are broken, but we just run away from one broken system into another broken system because it's still people at the core that create it. But how about we create an environment, or what does it look like to create an environment where people have hope that things can change in the world of work at large? So I'm not even just talking about you thinking about the organization that you're about to log onto this morning or the building you're about to walk into, but what happens if there are those of us that stand up and say, I believe that the workplace could be better, and I'm happy to put my 2 cents in to make that happen. And when I say that 2 cents, that could be giving feedback, that could be asking questions, right? And I say questions in a one-to-one, but also the plenty of us work in organizations that have town halls, ask me anything. So we're not asking the real questions, especially if they've created ways for you to ask it anonymously or non, whatever that looks like. We don't realize that these small nuggets allow us to hold organizations to account. They allow us to challenge the systems that don't serve anyone. There are so many people sitting at their desks today that are worried that they are being too sensitive, or they're expecting too much, or they're complaining too much. But ultimately, every technological advancement, every advancement within humanity that we are proud of to this day came from somebody saying, hey, I think this could be better. Hey, I don't think this works for everyone. Hey, why did we go left instead of right here? And I also understand that it takes a particular type of organization and leadership to be able to field those questions and have those conversations in a very proactive and constructive way, right? Because again, we're dealing with people. People have egos. I've been the person in the room who asked the question, and I've seen it on someone's face where they've taken it as a personal attack, not knowing that I just want to understand. I'm asking a question to understand. I'm not asking a question to grill you. I'm not asking a question to put you on the spot or make you look a certain way. I'm asking to understand because something's not mathing for me. And so a big part of my work going forward will be around that core belief that I don't believe that we create amazing careers alone. Whether that's an individual working with a career coach, whether it's that an individual in the organization giving honest and candid feedback to their manager, whether it is everybody who takes the time to fill in 360 feedback properly, everyone who takes the time to say, look, we're, as an organization or as a team, we're moving incongruent with our values. I'm concerned. Why do we think that is? Do our values no longer stand? Taking that brave and bold step, because going back to what I said at the beginning, you have a hope that things could be better. You have a hope that things can change. And you see yourself as a change maker. You see yourself as an agent of change. And that doesn't mean that we're all going to become like baby Martin Luther Kings in our organization, right? Or your equivalent human rights activist sort of hero. That doesn't necessarily mean that, but it means those small decisions that we make, right? We make those decisions based on our belief system. So I want to challenge you with this very short video to ask, in your situation right now, in your career right now, whether it is your industry context, whether it is your team context, whether it is your organizational context, whether it is your field of practice context, do you still have hope? And if so, what are you doing with that hope? What have you done with that hope? What are you creating with the actions that are spurred off the back of that hope? If 1,000 of us take one tiny step, it's a tidal wave. Do you know what I mean? Like thinking of droplets in a lake, skipping rocks in a pond. That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about. And like I said, it doesn't get better if all of us leave or we stay there in silence, right? We quiet quit. We unplug. We get apathetic. And I've spoken about that in a different podcast episode about the 5 A's of career change, right? And so all of this is what plays on my mind and has been playing on my mind. All of this is a big reason why I'm doing this program, and I'm doing it for the price of a bougie coffee, because I think if I can help even 20 people get the promotion, deliver that project to the best of their ability, work on an area of upskilling or personal development, and truly unlock growth in their career where they are right now, the ripple effect can't be measured. The ripple effect, not only in that person's life, but also in that organization, can't be measured. Like, perfect example. There are many people who don't get a promotion because the promotion processes at their organization are unclear. Every time I work with someone and I share and we walk through the processes, and I'm able to support them in having a conversation about the lack of clarity in the process, and they can decide whether that's a conversation with the line manager, HR, talent, whoever it is, and they ask the question, and they come back and they go, oh, it's in progress. The new process is being rolled out, right? And it's not to say that asking a question means a project pops up, because that quite often is not the case, let's be real. But they get an awareness. Right? It restores the hope that my organization isn't working against me. My organization doesn't want me to progress. It's just they've deprioritized this thing for way too long. And I'm using that as a small example, right? For the person who's coming into Goal Get Society to get that promotion. Those are definitely going to be conversations we have. I've worked places where there is no process. I've worked places where it looks like if you kick off, you get the promotion. Can we be real? Right? But even if the individual has the knowledge that that's the game that's being played and they can opt in or out, my job is done. My work is done. I've planted the seed. So I want to leave you with that question again. For those of you who are in these organizations, you're in your career, do you still have hope that things could be better? And if so, what are you doing with that?